Hello, I am Dr. Lucretia Dangerfield, and welcome to. I started out with the title Restore to Lead, but what has really been pressing on me is this is the re imprinted to Lead devotional series. And we're talking about a woman that we will find in three of the Gospels, but I really want to focus on the Gospel of Mark. And it's Mark chapter 5. And her story begins at Mark 5:25 and goes to 34. But I really want to focus in on part of Mark 5:34 where it says daughter. Yesterday, we talked about how she had a personal encounter with Jesus, and she was called out. Um, he saw her, and that was important. As leaders, we want to be seen, but we have to have a personal encounter, especially spirit led leaders, leaders that are walking out their calling. So, but today, my topic is lead from identity, not from issue. A lot of times as leaders, we find that we're leading from our brokenness, that piece in us that really needs to be healed from past experiences or from just life in general. But another piece of it is that we lead from our position or our title. That's how we see leadership, but leadership is more than that. When we talk about identity, we also talk about position, title, and things like this. But in this passage, when it comes to being a re imprinted leader, she went from a certain woman at the beginning of Mark 5 and 25 to become a daughter. Jesus called her daughter, restoring her identity before he acknowledged her healing. And we'll talk a little bit more about like how that plays out as we go over the course of these 5 days. As leaders, we often lead from our titles, achievements, or even wounds. I've been there as a leader, and being led by some people that led from their titles, led out of their wounding. And it when a leader leads out of their wounding, a lot of times they're hurting other individuals because of their own brokenness, of wanting to be seen, wanting to be affirmed, wanting to be in a position of power, and it flows down. I'm a firm believer that leadership flows down, and if the head is not in a healthy space, then the work uh, the work on the front line will not be done from a healthy space. But we can't lead from our titles or our achievements. But true leadership flows from a secure identity in Christ, knowing who you are and what you were created for, and knowing who you've been called to be. So we have to lead from our secure identity in Christ and not from our unresolved issues, our human validation, looking for other people to validate what we do as leaders. So I really want you to think about this. And as you think about it, if you as you read Mark 5:25 to 34, and you sit with it and watch how it plays out, that you realize her how her identity was re-imprinted, how it was restored because she went from, like I said, a certain woman to daughter. So think about this and reflect upon this as your leadership reflection question today. Is am I leading from who God says I am, or from what I fear or strive to prove? Think about that. How are you leading? And our prayer for today is, Father, remind me daily that I am yours. May my leadership rise from my identity as your beloved, not from my wounds. So, re imprinted leader, I want you to go out and I want you to show up in who you are and lead from a place of being re imprinted. Thanks and have a great day.